Hello and welcome back to my podcast, Live, Laugh, Lily Kincade. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. And if you're not new, welcome back. I'm so happy that you chose to stick around and come listen to another episode. Today I have a not too long, but a short little episode for you talking about learning to understand the loneliness of growth. So, to start off this episode, I'm going to read you guys a quote. As usual, we do a quote every episode. And this one's not, I guess it's a quote, but it's from this book that I just finished reading, which I highly recommend. If you're watching the video version, I'm holding it up. I don't know if you can see it. It's really good. It is called Beauty in the Stillness, and it's by Karen Hodadon. I hope I'm saying that right, Karen Hodadon. But it is a beautiful book split into different chapters on different topics, and they're kind of essay style. I wouldn't say it's poetry, but it's like short essay style. Really good. I've been reading it over these past few months, and I've really loved it. But there's one specifically that just, I was like, we got to do a podcast. We got to do a podcast episode about this because, as you guys know, Live, Laugh, Lily Kincade was just something I wanted to do because I feel like I'm going through life with you guys. And while the music is great, there's so much in between the music that I feel like I'm going through. And I don't know, I was like, there has to be somebody else out there who's also going through this. And, if we can work through it together, then amazing. So what I kind of do is whatever I'm going through in my life, I kind of find a little topic on that situation and, we can discuss it. So today's it is understanding the loneliness of growth, which, growing pains are real. Growing pains are real. And I heard somebody say the other day that like your early to mid 20s are going to be like the loneliest time of your life just because there's so many logistics that go into everything. And there's so much differentiation between people. Like, some people are still in school. Some people are married. Some people have kids. Some people are traveling. And I don't know. I'm here. And, we're going to talk about it because that is how you go through things. To get through things, you have to heal to feel. I should definitely make a topic about that. But anyways, you guys, I missed you. I missed you guys so much. I missed you. I hope you guys, did you like last week's episode with my dad? That was really fun. That was a really fun episode. Maybe we'll have him back in the future, but I just miss talking to you guys. I can't wait for the day I get to tour and get to meet you guys. Like truly, it's going to be so fun. That is what keeps me going. Like, I'm like, I can't quit. I can't quit because I need to meet the Kincadians and I need to take a Polaroid with you guys and we need to cry. And when I win my first Grammy, I will be hosting a VIP OG Kincadian pasta dinner. I'm serious. You can hold me accountable to that. I'm not joking. Anyways, okay, back to the topic of the podcast. The kind of quote for today, it's a little bit of a longer quote, but it is from the book Beauty in the Stillness by Karen Hodadon. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it is titled On Our Own Time. Maybe our youth isn't supposed to be the time where we figure everything out, the time where we understand who we're supposed to be. Maybe all that we need to do is just move through these years, experience everything and anything. By making those mistakes, falling in and out of love, giving too much of ourselves, saying the right and wrong things, taking multiple paths and going on several different journeys, falling 10 times just to get up again on the 11th, understanding what fuels us and what makes us feel empty, being acquainted with what brings us joy and what robs us from our happiness, because that is how we learn, adapt, grow, and transform, and maybe not knowing where we're going will eventually lead us to our virtues. While we may not have much insight into where we're headed, what we want to devote our lives to, or who we're supposed to be, these years are for us to experience, to be here, to feel it all, and ride the roller coaster of life. One day, we'll end up exactly where we're destined to be. However we get there, whenever we get there. And that is when we can look back on these years and realize why things happened the way that they did. Period. Amazing. Highly recommend this book. Super good. Beauty in the Stillness. Anyways, but wow. It can be so easy to get caught up in not only comparison, but I think a lot of internal comparison. External comparison is a whole separate thing from internal comparison. Thinking those things in your head where it's like, oh, well, by this age I should be doing this, or oh my God, like everybody else in my friend group or all my family members did this at this age, I'm falling behind. But the truth is, it's we are all on our own timing, and there's going to be seasons. There's highs and lows. There's hills and valleys. There's seasons for everything. And as I'm growing up, I'm realizing that like immensely that you can have everything, but you can't have everything all at once. And when you do finally start making those changes in your life and going after what you really believe in, and once you start finding yourself and trusting yourself and going towards your purpose, there's going to be those weird, uncomfortable seasons of growth. And so that's what we're talking about today, because I feel like I'm currently in one of those seasons, and that's okay. It's weird. It's definitely a weird feeling, because it's not you. Once you know things, you can't go back, like once you know how you deserve to be treated, and once you know your value, you can no longer be surrounding yourself with people who don't see that. And it's a strange feeling, because maybe in the past I could ignore it, or I could push it to the side, or I would always want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, which I think you should do. But give somebody a second chance, because we all make mistakes. But then after that, at a certain point, it's kind of like you know that person's character. And so like if you are still hanging out with those people or doing that job that you hate, it's only hurting you in the end. But I'm kind of in this season of my life where I feel like I've been working on my career, working on my goals. I've really gotten to know myself. I'm starting to find me. As cheesy as that sounds, hey, it sounds cheesy, but you know what? It's the truth. I've really gotten to know myself, and I've really figured out a lot about me and about what I love and my values and what I want to do. And that comes with this weird season of loneliness, because to have good things come into your life, you're going to have to create the space for it. Friendships, relationships, jobs, that's the truth. Sometimes you are not going to be offered a new job until you quit your old one, because it can be easy to have that safety blanket. But like the truth is, there is like a little part of you that is still thinking that that's what you deserve until you finally let it go. Like you can't stay with this bad boyfriend just until you get a new one, because you don't want to be alone. It's like, no, you're going to have to break up with that person, because you deserve better, and you're going to have to spend those uncomfortable weeks alone in order to get that good, loving person into your life. Same with friends. Like for the longest time, friendships are interesting, especially in adulthood. And I was talking with one of my friends this morning. We went on a walk at the beach, which I highly recommend anyone doing. Even if you don't live in a beach area, wake up for the sunrise. Sunrises are so beautiful. They're also one of my favorite things in the world, sunrises and sunsets, because guess what? You will never see the same one twice. It is completely unique, and there's something so healing about water. Maybe it's the Pisces in me. I don't know, but I highly recommend, even if you're just, gonna go outside in your neighborhood to go on a little walk. Highly recommend, amazing. But we were talking about how, it can be very interesting in these seasons, especially with friends in your 20s, because everyone's doing completely different things, and everyone is on a different timeline, which is totally normal. But it just, the differentiation, like I said earlier, seems completely drastic in your early 20s. But you're gonna find those good people. Like I want you to know that, like you're gonna find those good people, but you're going to have to cut those ties. And so that is what we're talking about today. I just kind of wanted to give you guys some tips that have helped me in this season, because I feel like I'm in this place where I can feel all of the hard work I've done mentally, like on my brain, and then also physically, like the hard work I've done, training and preparing in the gym for tour, and preparing my voice, and my writing and my performance, all of that, and all of my songs. Like I can feel it finally. I'm almost at the tipping point where we're about to start taking over. But it's been a like lonely kind of process, but it's been a good process. So I'm still going through it, obviously, and there's going to be hills and valleys, but I wanted to kind of share with you guys some of my tips that helped me. Because the truth is, like if you want to see change in your life, you have to change your life. It sounds really basic, but that's the truth. And sometimes those simple things, like I literally will write them on a sticky note and put them on my mirror, because that's what you got to do. Okay, before we dive into this list of tips I have, I also wanted to share with you, I guess this is a little quote by me. I guess this is a quote I made. One of my best friends reminded me of something I told her about a year ago. She had it in her notes, and she sent me a screenshot of it. She was like, Lily, I love that you said this. Like, I always think about it. Yeah, she sent me a screenshot from August 5th, 2022 of something I told her. And it was, if you want to do a job not a lot of people have, you have to do things not a lot of people are doing. Maybe that includes being very particular with who you surround yourself with, In order to grow, you're going to have to cut those extra weeds off, that's just how it is. Anyways, I really like that, and I was reminded of that. Isn't it? It's just great how friends know exactly what you need to hear sometimes. But yeah, it's going to be a weird season, but here is a list of my top 6 tips to get you through the growing pains, because you know what? They're going to be uncomfortable, but I do not regress, okay? Do not regress back. You are too special and too important to do that. I'm serious. If you're watching this podcast, to my like 10 people watching this, like you truly are too special to do that. There's some people that, you know, whatever, but you guys are leaders. Hopefully. Hopefully you guys are leaders, like, because that's what I want to do with, even with my music, my podcast, everything. It's just like, I just want to show you guys that, you know, it doesn't matter where you started. You have something in you that is going to impact people. And even if you don't realize it, it's who you are. It's nothing that you're wearing. It's not how you look. It's not the flashy material things you have. It's your soul. Like, that is so special, and it's going to make a difference, but you have to be willing to take the courage and to like put in the work and not be afraid of people judging you or people making fun of you or, you know, failing, because you matter. Okay, anyways, motivational rant over. Okay, here are my tips to, you know, get you through the season, and also some things I recommend if you're kind of in this transition period to, you know, make it work. Make it work for you. Do not regress. You know, we are understanding the loneliness of growth in the best way, because who doesn't want to grow? You know, it'd be boring to just stay the same. Anyways, okay, tip number 1, journal. I say it all the time, and I know you hate me. You're like, Lily, I don't want to journal, but I'm telling you, journal. I wish. I've always wanted to be a journal girl, and I wish I would have started journaling earlier, because I feel like I would have saved myself so much heartbreak. But you know what? Maybe I needed to go through that. I needed to go through those things, but journaling changed my life. I had a best friend who showed me her journals, and she put pictures in them, and I was like, oh my God, like maybe I should do that. Maybe that will keep me journaling, because I love like crafting, and I love cutting out pictures and visuals and quotes that I like. And I started journaling in about December 2019, and I've journaled pretty much every day. Of course, I miss some days here and there, but you know, pretty much every day since then, and it changes my life. I'm going to do a whole episode. Next week's episode is going to be all about that. And I'm going to break it down. And even if you're somebody that's like, there's no way I'm going to be able to journal. I've tried it before. I promise you're going to watch / listen to next week's episode, and you're going to become a journaler, and it's going to change your life. Like, literally, it will change your life. But in the meantime, I want you to start journaling. And I know it can seem weird, but you can either get a journal. I physically like to write it out. I think there's something like weirdly magical about like writing it with a pen and using my hand. If you don't want to do that, you can always do the notes app, or you can just talk out loud to yourself. But I think it's great to physically write it down, because it's also awesome to read it back a couple days later when you're not in that emotional state. Like, if you're going through something, it can be very hard to process it in the moment, because you know you're thinking a million miles a minute. So I love journaling, because I'm able to write about a situation in a week, 2 weeks, whatever, come back, and I'm able to be like, you know what, actually, this is how it actually was. I was just clouded with emotion, etc. But journaling is going to uncover so many things about yourself that you didn't even know. And yeah, I'm gonna give you all the tips, but definitely start journaling, start thinking about it. So if you are like, you know what, Lily, I want to change my life, I want to start journaling, get a journal this coming week, and I'm gonna give you all the tips next week, so you're gonna be ready. Okay, number 2, during the season of loneliness, it's not really loneliness, but like during this season of transition, study yourself. You're like, Lily, study yourself. Yes, study yourself. So often we get caught up in people pleasing, or just, you know, the routine of life, that we don't even know what we like. When was the last time you asked yourself, you know what food do I actually like? What are my favorite things? Because oftentimes, you know, we just go along with what everyone else is doing, which is great, you know, it's great. But I remember sitting down and being like, you know what are my favorite movies? It sounds silly, but I didn't even know, because I didn't ever think about that. What are my favorite songs? What are my favorite hobbies? What do I like to do? And, you know, so often I feel like, especially people who are very empathetic and like, you want to always make other people feel welcome. You're studying them, right? Like like they love this drink. This is their favorite flavor of this. Oh, they love this restaurant. We should go here. I want you to do that for you during this time period. I want you to make a list of everything that you love. And you can put it in your phone. You can write it down, whatever. But I want you to put down your favorite color, your favorite movie. It sounds silly, but I promise you, like, get to know yourself. And if you are like, oh, I don't know my favorite movie, I want you to watch some movies. I want you to watch some movies, because you deserve to know yourself, and almost like this sounds really cheesy, but treat yourself like a best friend, okay? Get to know yourself, get to know what you like, get to know what you don't like, because getting to know yourself and understanding yourself is going to help you build confidence. And it sounds silly, but the little ways are actually what make the biggest difference. So I want you to get to know yourself over these next couple of weeks and in the season of your life. Okay, Number 3, everyone says this, but this is so true. I want you to reconnect with your inner child. Aw, so wholesome. Yes, reconnect with your inner child. It sounds silly, but you know what? It's true. It's true what they all say, you know? I started knitting a year and a half ago, like a year ago I started knitting, and I also started coloring a lot. And it did connect me with my inner child. It connected me with my inner child, and I don't know what it does, but it really did something. And whether that be, you know, you go on a long walk or you watch one of your favorite movies from childhood, whatever it is, I want you to like bask in the nostalgia of having that free childlike energy where you were like, when you didn't care what people thought about you, when you didn't have the pressures of life, find a way to reconnect to that, even if it's for 5 minutes. Sometimes what I like to do is, this is kind of weird. Well, that's not kind of weird, but I love looking at pictures of me like when I was little. And it always inspires this kind of like, I feel really proud when I look at little pictures of me because I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could tell little Lily about Lily now, because I know she would be so happy and excited. And it just fills me with this sense of like excitement and encouragement to keep going. I know some people will put a picture of themselves, like a child picture of themselves on their phone, to remind themselves like, oh, do it for little you, like keep going, show them that you can do it and you can do hard things. And I think that's a really good idea too. So maybe try doing that. But yes, number 3, just reconnect with your inner child in whatever way feels right to you. But I definitely love doing some no social media time, coloring, crafting. I'm a big crafter, obviously playing music, but I love playing music. But yeah, that was number 3. Okay. Number 4 is very fun because I like to organize, but it is, you are going to inventory your life. You're going to take inventory over your life. And I want you to take inventory in every area of your life. Okay. So I want you to start physical and then like not physical. So physically, I want you to start, we're going to start with like your kitchen. I want you to take inventory of the food that you have in your fridge. I want you to take inventory of, you know, it could be like extra junk you have around your house. Maybe donate what you don't use, get rid of anything that's broken, you know, get rid of expired food. Like physically cleaning things, it sounds silly, but physically cleaning things will mentally clean things. It's the truth. And then after you do that, I want you to move on to your bedroom. I want you to get out all your clothes and try on the clothes and only keep the things that make you feel confident. Donate the rest or sell the rest. But, you know, sometimes we keep so much clutter in our lives that it's all the clutter is surrounding us. So then we have so much clutter in our minds as well. And I think you need to inventory. Same with like makeup, like go through your makeup, anything that doesn't make you feel confident or that you don't like, give it to a friend, donate it, throw it out, whatever. And then I want you to start mentally inventorying your life. Start with your friends, start with, you know, family members as well. Start with, you know, significant others, because oftentimes when we change, we kind of assume that other people are also changing with, like, we don't assume, but you don't see yourself from the outside perspective. And so like you are growing so much, and it can be very easy to not see the people that you left behind. And it's not, you know, everyone has to grow on their own time. Like the little quote said, everyone has to grow on their own time. So it's nothing you did, but sometimes, you know, you're just growing out of people. And I think it's nice, and it's going to be very helpful to just take an inventory of that, because it can save you hurt feelings, and like, it can just help you and help you see things objectively without being caught up in the moment. But I love doing that. And I'll also do it with like inventory of my time, especially in the season of growth. Like take inventory of your time. How much time are you spending on social media? And what would the better version of you spend? So maybe that's setting timers on your social media apps, or maybe that is, you know what, I'm really not sleeping a lot, I need to be sleeping more. Like take inventory of your life, what you're doing, what you're spending time on. And then that way it's so easy to like create new habits, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Also, of course, if there's any questions you guys have, please let me know. You can leave them, comment on this video if you're watching on YouTube, or in the Q&A section over on Spotify if you're listening. By the way, they're all anonymous unless you guys would want me to post it. But yeah, I love that. And I love reading it all. Also, you should give this, while we're here doing a little shameless self-promo, give this podcast 5 stars on Spotify. Isn't it so weird to have a podcast? I think about that every day. I'm like, oh my God, like Lily me a year ago would have been like, what? You're starting a podcast? Yes, I am. Anyways, okay. So yeah, you're going to inventory your life. We have 2 more tips left for you today, okay? Number 5. I want you to become an initiator. I want you to become an inviter. I want you to use this season of like kind of like isolation, loneliness to grow into a leader. Because the truth is, the world is 5% leaders, probably less than that, 1% leaders, 99% followers. And you just have to make the change. And I want you to use this season to kind of like start fresh and become an initiator, become a leader, whether that be at work. I want you to, start leading those projects, whether that be in friendships. So often we can feel sad and it's like, oh, I have nothing to do. No one's inviting me out. I'm so alone on a Friday night. Can I make it? Oh, sorry. I was going into Lana mode, born to die. But it's true, whenever you feel lonely, or whenever you feel like that, that is a sign that's like, hey, you can be the initiator. You do not have to wait around for somebody else to invite you to do something. Invite somebody that you want to get to know better. Invite a friend to go on a hike, to go on a walk. Like, take the initiative and use this time as almost like a reset to become that leader. And if you have to, fake it till you make it, till it's true, then do that. Because you know what? Sometimes you got to work from the outside in. But I want you to become an initiator, and that is really going to push you through this season of growth, because instead of waiting around, relying on other people to make things happen for you or to like make you feel connected, the power is going to start to be in your hands, and it's going to feel really good. Trust me, it's going to feel weird at first, but think about how good it feels when someone invites you to something, or a friend you haven't seen in a while texts you a really nice message. Do that for somebody else. Okay? And it's all going to come back, Karma's my boyfriend. I'm sorry, every time I sing a Taylor or Lana lyric, I just have to. Okay, I have one more tip for you guys, and that is to lay the old you to rest with love. Lay the old you to rest with love. It can be very easy to, get caught up in old patterns, and I want you to know that it's okay to grow and change. No one is mad at you. Like, the people who should stay in your life are going to love that you are growing into this confident, better version of yourself who isn't afraid to shine and isn't afraid to do what you love, And I think it's okay to like, and this sounds kind of silly, but like sometimes you really need to be like, you know what? You can have a mini funeral for your old self, whether that be like, maybe you look through old pictures and you maybe delete the ones that you don't want to keep anymore, or you archive things on your Instagram, whatever it is. Maybe you move, maybe you cut your hair, whatever it is. I want you to know that you're allowed to change, especially too, like if there's circumstances or people that you're seeing who knew the old you. Don't think that you have to go back to that. You are allowed to start over. You are allowed to be this new person, and go to sleep one person, wake up the next morning, the new version of yourself, and be confident in it. It's gonna feel weird sometimes. Sometimes people are gonna bring up your past, but that is okay. You are allowed to say, you know what? Yeah, that was me, but I've changed. That's not who I am anymore. But I'll always love and respect that person in that season of my life. But you're allowed to change, and don't feel bad. Don't feel like you have to make yourself dim or tone down who you are now just because people knew who you were. That was a nice one to end it on. Anyways, thank you for listening to this short little episode of Live, Laugh, Lily Kincade. Let me know if you have any questions on this topic or any future episodes you want me to cover. I'm thinking about maybe doing like an Ask. Should we do like an Ask Lily episode? Maybe once every couple months? I don't know. Whatever you're thinking, let me know, because I love you guys. And this is all for you. It's you. It's all for you. Everything I do, I tell you all the time. But yeah, I hope you guys like that. And I hope these tips can kind of help you understand this season and get you through this season. Because I promise you, it's like, this is not the time to give up. It's the time most people give up. But you do not give up, okay? You are not going to give up. I believe in you. Like, if no one has told you today, I believe in you, okay? I'm serious. I believe in you. You are amazing, and you have that power to, sounds cheesy, but you have the power to change the world, okay? I'm serious, but push through this season and grow into the person that you have always been. But life can just get you down because it's inside of you. It truly is inside of you. It's all in the mindset too. But anyways, I love you guys so much. Make sure to stream my new song Winter Coats, as well as my whole discography, because it's such vibes for Sad Girl Fall. I've been listening to 3 months lately. Just thought we'd make it to Christmas, burn out with the lights and go down with the snow. Our last kiss could be under the mistletoe. We'd be drunk and be laughing. It's dramatic, I know. Maybe that's why. I can't let us fade, because we never made it through the holidays. Look how much damage 3 months can do. It's almost September. What happened to June? Anyways, just spoken word 3 months version for you. But yeah, listen to it all. All of my social medias are linked. You can follow me, join our Discord, the Kincadian Discord. We got TikTok, Instagram, X/Twitter. Do people call it X? I think so. I made a Tumblr recently because I want to be a Tumblr girly. I don't know. It just felt fun. But I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Remember, next week is going to be all about journaling. You're going to get your pens and paper out, and I'm going to teach you how to change your life, and you are going to love it. Okay, let's end it by saying our affirmation passed down to me by my second grade teacher, Mrs. Goncher. Ready? Today is a wonderful day. I am confident because I am a problem solver. I always have options because I choose to be optimistic. Today I will learn something new, laugh, and make a difference in someone else's life. I love you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe, and I will see you next week.